So today I thought I'd fill up the water tank again. During the summer, I was filling it up every day. Of course, it was warm and I could come out here and I didn't even have to put the hose away, but now I got to put the hose away because it'll freeze up. So I've been storing the hose in here, and that way the filters here won't freeze up and I don't have to throw them out inside the house. Carolyn came up with the idea of storing them inside the water tank box. That was a brilliant idea. Last year I bring it in the house and it was just in the way. So like I said, it's been a few days since I filled it up. It got below freezing last night. It actually got down to 21 degrees. It got a lot colder than what they said. I didn't want to open the box up before it started to freeze because then I would have let all the heat out. Now I've explained this in previous videos how this box works, and I'll put a link to that video at the end of this video. It'll pop right up on the screen next to my face. Just click it. You'll learn how this box works, and I appreciate it if you'd watch it. Helps the algorithm know that you like this video. So I got ventilation coming in from the house and it blows hot air into here and it's worked perfectly. So last night the box area got down to 49 degrees, which isn't bad. I mean, the water temperature is probably 50 degrees when I get it out of the well, 50 to 60 degrees. The temperature last night was 21 degrees. So we're talking a difference of 30 degrees roughly. That should get us down to about 0 degrees if I don't do anything extra. There's other things I could do. Like yesterday it was pretty windy, so I could put a tarp over this to help keep the wind from blowing into the little cracks in the seams. But I tell you, I'm very proud of how this worked. Now the chicken water, I just go down there when it freezes and I just keep it cycling it out. They've done pretty good. This winter, just like last winter, has been pretty warm. I haven't complained. As a matter of fact, on the 7-day, it's going to be above freezing all week until next Saturday. This is Friday. So, well, we got 8 days, I guess. I guess it was a 10-day. You just can't complain with these temperatures living off grid. But last night was our best test so far on how everything was working. With the wood stove, I've been showing you that we've just been using sticks basically to heat the house every 12 hours. We light the wood stove. Last night I made a mistake. What I've been doing is, it gets pretty hot in there, even using those little sticks. So I open the window and about an hour later I'll wake up again and I'll shut the window. And that does pretty good. Well, last night I forgot to shut the window, so I woke up at 1 o'clock and it was 69 degrees in the house. I think I said 1, it was actually 1:30. So I shut the window and I put a couple more sticks in the wood stove. And when I woke up at 5:30, it was 81 degrees in the house. Everything's just working so perfectly. I don't know what I'm trying to teach. I feel like I'm trying to teach you to live your dream. But I get a lot of criticisms, of course. People thinking I should do things differently. And they want me to spend more money on doing it. This water tank is a perfect example. This was very inexpensive to build. I mean, lumber prices were a little high, but still, it was very inexpensive. Little water tank, I think, was 50 bucks, some plywood, some 2x4s. Actually, this isn't 2x4s. I found 2x3s, and I used 2x3s for this. The insulation, what have we got? Let's just call it 150 bucks for this box and another 50 bucks for the tank. Very inexpensive, and it works perfectly. A little RV pump pumps water into the house. It's a really good system, and I like it a lot. I think what keeps a lot of people from doing this or living their dream is they overcomplicate it. And I heard from a bigger YouTuber, Doug and Stacy, one time say, analysis paralysis. They overthink it so much and they analyze it so much that they never get going. Well, it's not so much for me about analysis paralysis. I don't have that kind of problem. I just don't like spending money. Is my biggest hiccup in life. It's a good hiccup to have. I mean, there's a lot worse hiccups to have in life than not wanting to spend money. If I start thinking, oh, that's going to cost a fortune, if I got to buy a bunch of stuff, or it's going to go over my budget, or it starts dipping into my savings, I'm not interested. So I'm always trying to figure out how to do things on the cheap. I guess you could say that I'm kind of rigging things where, you know, it's just, I don't want to cuss, but it's just half, you know, dirty job. I'm not doing a great job. But I don't feel like that's true, because now that it's all put together, it's working perfectly. I haven't overanalyzed it and I haven't overspent. Now, none of this would pass code, I'm sure. Now, that's the reason we built the tiny house. But a code inspector come in, first of all, they would have condemned the well. And the well was in pretty bad shape. Of course, I fixed it all up, but I bet it still would not pass any sort of professional inspection, code inspection. Now, if I ever have to sell the place, I'll just sell it up as a we live close to a tourist area, and I could sell the places. Just said, I got a little cabin, you know, near the lake and all that kind of stuff. I wouldn't have to go through all this code and whatever. It would just, I'd do a cash exchange and title and as is, and with the understanding that the well isn't up to code and the house isn't up to code, but it all works. So we spend more money trying to meet government requirements, trying to meet specifications that the government has placed on us, and for what? For my safety or for somebody else's safety? Well, I'm not looking out for anybody else's safety. This is my place. I'm going to do it my way, and I'm not going to let anybody on the property. We've talked about trespassing. I've got some videos on trespassing. I just don't let anybody hear. One of the things that I wanted to always build was a bridge like this. I always wanted to build one. I had a house in the city. Well, not in the city, it was a village or whatever I want to call it. And we had a pretty deep ditch. And I wanted to build a bridge across the ditch. Of course, first thing you got to do is you got to ask the insurance company if you can do that. No, you can't do that. That's a liability. The bridge breaks, somebody could get hurt and sue us. Well, here, nobody's going to be on the bridge. I don't have to ask the insurance company. It's my property. I can do whatever I want. And it's huge freedoms. Now, I did a community poll a while back, and I asked, what's the biggest holdup from you living your dream? Money, age, I forget what all the answers were. The one that won out the most was no money. Then I should be your go-to guy, I guess, best way to put it, on how to start your dream, because I don't have any money either, yet I did it. So I don't even see how that's an excuse when you really think about it. You get debt-free, you build a little $5,000 house on a trailer frame, and you can find those pretty cheap. I've seen them on Craigslist quite a bit. Heck, I've seen people say, hey, you come pick up this trailer, it's yours for free. Just come get it. So, I mean, of course, you'd have the shipping costs and all that, but you get it on your property, tear it apart, you got the trailer frame, you build yourself a tiny house. So like I was saying earlier, it's either analysis paralysis, not enough money, which isn't an excuse, or not enough drive. You just don't have the ambition to actually do it. Getting back to being, you know, this is kind of a half dirty word job, I really struggle with that. I've never been so proud in my life until this winter. Everything I put together has been driving towards being able to survive a winter. Last winter, we moved into the tiny house and immediately dropped down to zero. And the water froze and we were still trying to figure things out. We had wet firewood. It was hard to burn, and it was just a struggle. But this year, everything's working out perfectly the way we planned it. Well, actually better than we planned it, because I thought we were going to use a cord. I've said that many times, but it turns out we'll probably want to use a half a cord. So it's better than what we planned. The water, as many people told me that I'm going to have to bury the tank, I'm going to have to do something different. People have told me to put it up in the attic, which would have cost tons of money to do, because, oh, well, we'd have had to reinforce the attic. We would have had to have spent more money on structural integrity. We'd have had to put drains in place, because obviously you spill water every time you do this. It would have been a real chore to put it up in the attic to keep it warm. I think folks just kind of overthink it. And the thing is when you're telling them, okay, this is working, I can guarantee you there are going to be people in the comment section say, this is what you should do. Even though it's working, 100% don't have any problems. And even if that, let's say it doesn't work, let's say it gets negative 10 degrees, it freezes. Well, no big deal. I just come out here to the well, I turn the well on because it ain't gonna freeze. I've showed you how to do that. As a matter of fact, the video I asked you to click will show you how I keep it from freezing. It's not gonna freeze, so I can always use the well, run it into the water heater in the house, just using this hose that I just showed you. And everything will stay nice and warm. And so then we'll have water, we can take our showers, do our dishes. Of course, we can't shut it off. We'd have to leave it running until we were done. And people are gonna say, oh, that's a waste of water. Well, not really, because it's a well. This well recovers very fast. We're not in an area where we're in a big drought right now. The well has done fantastic. I'm really getting to the point in this lifestyle where we're actually not constantly trying to do something to prepare for the next step. I think we've actually gotten to the point now where we can just live the off-grid lifestyle and be happy. So now it's just my turn to tell you, you can do this. Learn how to build a tiny house. Rob, I can't build a tiny house. I have no carpentry skills. Well, I didn't either. So go through my playlist on my channel. You can go to my channel, click playlist. You'll see tiny house build. Click that, watch my videos. You can see that all the steps I took to figure out how to build this tiny house. One person built this, just me. Carolyn, I told you before, Carolyn helped me lift the north wall up, this wall over here on this side, which she really didn't need to do. She was just up here and said, hey, can you lift it? I feel guilty that I asked her to do it now because I would like to have done the whole house myself. And when we got the shower, we bought the shower, it was an assembly thing you had to do, and there was just no way one person could do that. So she came up and helped me put that together. So I don't understand the excuse anymore that we can't get it done, we can't do it, it's too hard, not enough money. It can be done. And I've talked about how you buy the property. You can find property. Go to Facebook Marketplace and just dig in. Know how much you want to spend, and if you don't have the money, save up. You can save up, this would cost $4,200. I don't see any reason why you can't save up $4,200 within a year. So by next year, you'll have a piece of property. And I say that from experience. It's not like I'm saying, oh, you can do it. No, you can do it. I know you can do it. I don't make any money. If I can do it, anybody can do it. And the biggest thing you need to do is don't have an idea of what you want. Have an idea of how much you want to spend, and code regulations is the biggest things. So if you'll check out that video, you'll learn how to do this water. Also, after that video, you might want to go check out my playlist about building a tiny house and cleaning up the property and all kinds of stuff. I hope you can catch on to this philosophy that I have. I really do, because I really want you to live your dream. I hope I can inspire you to live your dream. Thanks for watching.